So during lockdown, my family got a little bit into Lego. Our dining room table is now a converted Lego table, and that is weekend life after lockdown.
Hi everyone, Katie Jones here over in London. We are still in level 3 over here, so we're not completely in the clear yet. But the one thing that I am looking forward to the most once we get out of this is hugging my friends. I'm talking picking them up, squeezing them super, super tight, twirling them round like an idiot. I miss that human contact from the ones that I care about the most. I'm such an affectionate person, so I'm really excited for that.
Hey Kimberley, Freezer Grew here. I think the thing I miss the most during lockdown is that I love to go to Wickles and just stand in the children's book section for like an hour or two, just skimming through books. One of my big dreams in life is to be a children's author, and it inspires me so much, and I missed it heaps, and I just did it before, that's why I'm thinking about it. But just being able to stand in a bookshop, staring at books, and never buy anything. That's the thing I miss the most.
Hey everybody! Hey guys! Welcome to Quarantine with Kim Season 2, Life After Lockdown. Today's guest is the amazing Julia Matthews. She's the founder of Two Islands Co. She is here, getting ready to come into the room. If you guys would like a month of neon on us, just use hashtag neon, please, in the comments. Let's get her in here. Hi, lovely lady. Oh, I can see her. Did she come? Is she here? She is here. Hi. Oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, hold on. I can't hear you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. There you go. And let me change this so that works. Oh, yay. Where are you?
Penelope.
She can come and be part of it. Bring Penelope in.
Penelope, come here. When I said hi, she's like, oh, who's here?
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
Come here. Okay. On your mat.
You can come and be part of it, Penelope. Hi, Jules. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You look like you were wearing what might be the most comfortable thing in the world.
Yeah, it's a little Zara two-piece. It's great.
Amazing. And cheers, by the way. Thank you for joining me for Quarantine with Kim. What are we drinking?
Just Earl Grey. It's like the most horrible day here.
Okay, well, that's right. Well, we'll brighten it up a little bit. Thanks for doing this. We've got a few fun things to kind of get through, but obviously this season of the show is called, hold on, let me check. I am recording. This season of the show is called Life After Lockdown, and you're one of the few people I know who were pregnant during lockdown. I wonder if you could give me like the highlight, lowlight of, I guess, lockdown, but with pertaining to pregnancy.
Honestly, I loved lockdown because I'm at the point where I just don't fit anything.
Okay.
So, and you just want to be in comfy clothing. And right. I've lived in tracksuits. So it's like every morning, wake up, I don't even have to think about trying to look presentable. I just...
Did you change tracksuits, or do you wear, because like a lot of people I speak to, you just go like nighttime pajamas become daytime pajamas, then when you shower, that is the point in which you change?
I mean, it depended on if I had Zoom meetings. If I had meetings, I would need to worry a bit more, but I just lived in like this one style of Lululemon tights, and I've got like 6 pairs. Right. So it's been great. Active wear's been great. And just, if you're not feeling flash, I'm just at home. I can't go anywhere. So.
Were you like mentally okay? Because I guess lockdown's one of those things. I feel like I'm in very much a place of privilege that as a homebody, and I was unemployed anyway, kind of like being in lockdown was kind of quite nice to me to a slow place. I understand that's coming from a place of privilege. Did you have any like mental health issues, or were you quite happy?
Yeah, no, I'm the same, and I would feel bad saying that I enjoyed lockdown because I know how tough and difficult it was for so many people. Mm-hmm. And there were days definitely when I had anxiety. I think when I knew we were coming down, like we were going up another level and lockdown or things that we could or couldn't do, I would get a little bit anxious. But like in a whole, I enjoyed it just because I did get time to rest and sleep in more, and I'm an introvert. Like, I'm a homebody as well, so it's kind of everything was on my side, and I could work, so I was very privileged and lucky. But it's so nice to now be back out and seeing people and everything operate. It was even nice, like when we got to the first day of level 2 and seeing cars on the road, I found it really comforting. I was like, oh yes, people are going to work, and like people get to get their lives back, and that was really nice.
Did you have, now this is my complete ignorance not having yet had a child, did you have like doctor's appointments that you could or couldn't go to, or were you like, don't come early, baby? Like, was there any of that kind of anxiety of like not wanting to give birth to the pandemic?
Yeah, well, I had a few, like my sister-in-law gave birth the week after lockdown, and she liked the fact that she just didn't have visitors, but then sad on the other side that she couldn't have family just to meet her baby. Oh God, the baby would have been way too preemie if I had had him during lockdown. So that, but I didn't think about that. I was like, at the end of the day, I can't control when he comes out.
That's very true.
Yeah, I just was like, I can't control it. So whatever happens, happens. And hospitals are still operating. All my midwife appointments were done over the phone.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Great. That almost feels like, I know my nephew was a bit sick, and they did like a Zoom doctor's appointment. My sister was like, I don't know if I can do this all the time. Like, this saved me all this other chaos.
You usually go to the doctor anyway, and you're waiting in the waiting room. They usually then you're in and out in like 10 minutes, and they give you a script for whatever you need. It's like, just do it over a Zoom. And I think a lot of doctors have come out of this being like, hey, that's such a better way to, and especially if you've got a sick child, you don't want to have to get in the car. And
if there was a way, I remember like if I've had like some kind of food poisoning or vomiting, and I remember even like when you're young, like you or me, sorry, my mum tried to call too, and I'm like, I'm really busy, I'm really important. That's so funny, because I'm sure it will come up in the screen recording. My mum had called too. I'm like, but she knows I'm really busy. It's like my one gap in the day. I know that like going in the car when you're unwell is the worst thing. So hopefully this is like one of those good learnings from lockdown that we're like, hey, this is maybe something we can work on. Is there anything that during lockdown that you learned about yourself? I know that you're saying like it was quite comfortable and conceptually comfortable for you, but
that I learned about myself. I wouldn't say I learned anything. Well, maybe just that I am such a homebody, maybe. Like I kind of knew that anyway, but I was like, I'm really enjoying this. Not having to go out and feel like I have to do something. And I maybe don't want to, it's like you make plans and then you're like, damn, why did I make those plans?
I agree, because I always say yes to everything, and then when it comes around I'm like, I don't want to, but then I hate when people pike on me, so I'm like, oh, this is great, I don't have any social obligations. I wanted to talk to you a little bit, and it was something that you had said in Belle's podcast, which is awesome, by the way. Shout out to Belle, we had her on the show earlier, she's so great. You were talking about freezing eggs, and this is something that people have recommended to me, and I was really resistant early on, because I was kind of like, oh, if you like, my ovaries will be fine. And then kind of coming around to this idea of like, oh, maybe that's a responsible thing to do. I know that you spoke sorry, I'm taking your story and repeating it, but you got your eggs frozen and then didn't end up using them because you got pregnant. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So I froze my eggs. I knew I had really low egg count. And I knew that because I was studying health science at the time, and I wanted to be my own little guinea pig. Went and had a blood test and found out that my egg reserves were really low. And
how do they know that from a blood test?
It counts a hormone or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so some people say it's not very accurate and whatever. I mean, I just went and did it because I wanted to do it. You could just go to your doctor, and then they'll send you to the lab testing place. And then I did the test again 2 years later, and my egg levels were still really low. And I was like, okay, I'm getting older. I know that once your eggs are gone, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like a male who just continuously makes sperm. Once they're gone, they're gone. So I thought, okay, I may want kids. I don't want them now. my egg count's low, I should probably just freeze them. So probably, yeah, like 2 years after I knew that I had low egg count, I ended up doing it. And they're still in the freezer. I didn't use them. It wasn't that I knew I couldn't get pregnant. It was the fact that, say if I got to, like, I'm 33 now, I'm 34 soon. What if I wanted to have, say, like a second or third child when I was 38 or whatever? By then I may not have any eggs left. So just, it was kind of like an insurance policy. Like, you just know that they're sitting there if you need to use them, if you want to use them.
And is it an expensive investment?
Yeah, it's not cheap. I think the prices come down now to around $10,000 in like New Zealand dollars, and that includes like all your medication, all your appointments with the doctors, and then you pay a fee per 6 months to keep them on ice.
Got it.
Yes, it's expensive, but it's potentially a child or children.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And is it painful getting your eggs out?
No, I was at La La Land. I was in Twilight. I mean, the not nice part was when you have to inject yourself, like inject your stomach.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah.
It is, but it's just a pinch. Like, you know, you can get like a blood test. It's the same. It's just like, you have to do it yourself. You're so used to like a nurse.
Yeah. And then they ask you, like, so how was your weekend? You're like, don't bloody try and distract me from the fact that.
Yeah, so it's just the fact that you actually have to get the needle and like stick it in your stomach yourself. So it's like, oh God, like, and it doesn't hurt. It's just, yeah. But no, it's, and then when you get them taken out of you, you get put under like Twilight. So you don't even know what's going on. I woke up and I was in La La Land. I was like, how many did you get out? And
Can
like,
I see them? Yeah.
I want to see my babies. And then for a few hours, I don't really remember. And that was it. So it's an easy process.
Okay.
I think I mentally prepared myself because I was like, this is my choice. This is what I want to do. And I just spoke to other people who had done it. So I think if that's something that someone's looking to do, just talk to others and ask them about their experience, because everyone experiences it differently.
Yeah.
You know, hormones have a lot to answer for when it comes to how females act and how we feel and how we think.
Yeah.
And you're essentially putting hormones into your body, so all crazy things can happen and you can feel certain ways. So yeah, just talk to people who have maybe gone through the same thing, or read up on the internet. The internet's wonderful, right?
Yeah, thanks for demystifying that. I think it's like one of those things that it was actually a manager of mine who suggested it, who's also a male in his like 50s. So, and he meant it in a nice, I think he really did mean it in like a nice, caring way, but also like mansplaining that I need my eggs frozen.
Right? Like, who's to say that you want children, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I was like, oh, okay, I mean, I should. And then I was like, oh God, do I look like, why are we having this conversation? I was like, oh, okay. But then it kind of got me thinking. So I appreciate you demystifying that a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people are really fascinated by it. And I mean, it makes sense, right? If you freeze them when you're younger, then they are, you know, frozen in time at that condition, right? They're not aging with you. So makes sense. I have this fun game called Just a Minute with Julia, if you don't mind. It's like 10 quick fire questions. Time is really the only element. So, you know.
all right.
Okay. What is your pet peeve?
People saying they're going to do something and not doing it.
Pertaining to all things, like the dishes, as well as...
Yeah, just people just not following through with that. And when they don't have a good excuse.
Lazy people, I like it. The last time you cried and why?
Oh, yesterday.
Oh, great. And you don't know why?
No.
Oh, bless. Good, great. That's great. The best food drink combo. Now, I know you're not drinking at the moment, so it doesn't need to be an alcoholic drink, but maybe it is. Maybe it is like the best combination.
Just red wine and pasta.
What was your first, like, this is not this, but another one, like your first post-lockdown purchase?
Like what takeaways did I have?
Yeah, or whatever it was, whether you're like, I've got to get that bloody pillow from Cheetah or whatever it is.
Oh, I was buying online. I feel like, God, who wasn't buying online? I honestly, my first, like what I did, I got in the car and I had a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Oh, Nice. Good. Did you go into the extent of like trying to make KFC at home or Big Mac sauce when they released that?
Yeah, definitely try to make KFC at home. It's a massive fail. The oil was way too hot and the chicken was black.
Good. That sounds terrifying.
I didn't have a thermometer to check the oil temp, so that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. If you could now, I know you're have a partner, but in a different universe, if you could go on a hot date with anyone, and hot is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe it's just great conversation because that's what you're craving, or maybe it is a hot, steamy dinner. Who would it be?
Oh, I've completely forgotten his name in real life.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
The guy, the lead actor on Outlander. Jamie from Outlander.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. I'll Google it, but I'm sure people will totally agree with that. So you're a fan of that show, but mainly him? If you could just take him out of the show, the character?
Just his character. Character.
Yeah. I'm the same with Sons of Anarchy. It's
Yeah.
Charlie Hunnam, but it's not him, the actor. It's the character Jax Teller to just take me away.
I'm with you on that one.
Well, if he comes to me first, I'm going to take him. I love you dearly. I've said to many people, like, even if I was all like this close to getting my dream role and he came in, he's like, if it come with me, I'd go, okay, I'll give up everything.
Absolutely.
We'll have a fiery relationship. That would be great. What is the worst smell ever?
Blue cheese.
Oh, yeah, kind of a feet thing. How are you with kombucha then?
Yeah, I like kombucha's fine. I drink the flavored ones, so maybe that's why. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm just not into blue cheese anyway, so.
I'm going to assume I know the answer to this one, but perhaps you'll put me wrong. The last time you spewed and why?
Oh, I was lucky I didn't spew. Yeah.
Great.
Or probably when I was hungover, which would have been a long time ago.
Do you cry when you throw up, or do you just power through it?
Sometimes you cry because, well, I would cry because I stick my fingers in my throat.
Yeah, to get a dog. This smells like, that's a very Kiwi thing. Like, I've said that before when it's like, you're like, well, gotta have a spew, and you're like, and it's not coming, so you'll do that. But then a lot of people, like, yeah, obviously not condoning that in any way. It's probably not great for our health or mental health. But yeah, that seems like a very Kiwi thing that we're quite like, I was about to say like, not blokey, but quite fine to be like, that's how, because we binge drink, I guess, and perhaps Americans don't.
Yeah, well, isn't New Zealand the worst in the world for binge drinking or something?
Probably. I will say, like, one of the differences between New Zealand and America with drinking is that in New Zealand, if someone's really drunk, the group consensus is normally like, get them another drink, let's see, like.
Yeah, it's not great.
Which is not great at all. In America, people be like, well, that's a bit embarrassing, and they'll be removed. Yeah. She's making a fool of herself. We're here, we're like, let's get them a round of shots. Let's see how hilarious. A talent you wish you had.
That I could sing. I wish I could sing.
Me too. What's that?
I wish I could sing well. I mean, I can sing, but it doesn't sound great.
Mine doesn't sound great either. I wish I could too. The most yuck food is?
The most yuck food. Oh, probably raisins.
Did you not have them at school when you have that little packet and you get your finger and then you make a whistle? No?
No.
Okay. Why raisins? What a strange one. Just.
Yeah, I love grapes, but just not raisins. And I feel like they're in things, and when they ruin it. So it's just like, raisins.
You know what's funny about that is I don't know when I last had a raisin. Like, I understand sometimes they spruce up a salad with it, but it's not common enough for me to consider it. So that's great. I will keep that in mind. And then the last one, the best advice you've been given, or one that comes to mind that might pertain to this chapter.
Oh, the best advice I've been given. Probably the best advice I've been given is something that I practice all the time, is to not worry about things that you can't control.
Ugh. And
And
how do you go about executing that?
Yeah, I feel like that is something that as I've gotten older, that's something that I've really been like, okay, yeah, well, I can't control that, so I'm not going to let that worry me, because I used to suffer from anxiety, and like really badly, and it was because I would just worry and fester about things that were actually completely out of my control. I couldn't change them, I couldn't do anything about it, but I would worry about it and try and think of ways that I could control it.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, you know what, Julia, you can't control that, so don't worry about it. And it's, yes, I get it's easier said than done, but it's something that I've definitely been better at doing as I've gotten older.
Is that something that just, so I do this, so you can speak directly to me. So I worry about all the things, and I do have depression and anxiety. A recent discovery. Yay, so fun to be part of the club.
Yeah.
But was there any other like maybe tips you could give me to help get to that place? Like I aspire to be like, let it go, only control what you can control, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. One day it just like flipped for me. It really did. And that meant I didn't need to take like medication anymore, because I just was like, okay, like for example, like flying, I would be petrified of flying, like absolutely petrified. And I would have to fly when I lived in Sydney back home to New Zealand a lot. Because I'd be like, oh, what, the wing's going to fall off, the plane's going to crash. And then it was like, okay, do you know what? If something happens, it happens, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And I think that helped me get in that mindset. So I don't think it's just something like, again, that's what's like, it's easier said than done. Like, oh, just don't worry about it because you can't control it. It was definitely something that I had to practice. And yeah, something that just came with me as I got older.
Do you do any like breathing techniques or meditation or anything?
I don't meditate. I've tried, and I really wish that I could, because I know how incredible if people experience, you know, I only ever hear positive stories about meditation, but my brain, my mind is just, which is probably a reason why I should try and meditate. I can't. But yeah, I mean, if I ever get into a situation and I'm like freaking out, I definitely big fan of laying on the ground and feet up on the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To like help calm me down, feet up on the wall.
Oh, that makes me want to do it now. I'm going to do that after this. I haven't done that in forever, but it does feel good.
So nice and calming, yeah.
Thanks, Jules. That's what I'm going to spend my afternoon. I'll send you a picture of just like, yeah, this is, I agree with it. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Big Little Lies, because this is one of the shows that you love. I personally haven't seen it. So what would you say, in case anyone who watching this also hasn't seen it, why would you recommend it?
Oh, the cast. It's like Nicole Kidman, Zoe Kravitz, Laura Dern, Reese Witherspoon, like just such an epic cast. And that for me, when I saw that show was coming out, I was like, oh, I need to watch this. I don't actually care what it's about. I just want to watch it. Yeah, I just, the story's amazing. I love the fact that like Reese Witherspoon produced it or directed it or was heavily involved in it. And it's just like a badass all female like lead. Yeah. It's just such a cool show and a cool story. And yeah,
what would you say is like the perfect environment to watch it? Because some shows are kind of like passive watching. Like some people have recommended Love Island because they're like, oh, you can either watch it really intensely or kind of have it on while you're doing something. What would be like the environment to watch?
In Love Island, I obsessed. Every season I watch Love Island UK, obsessed. So good.
Do you love it because you can be kind of judgy, or do you love it because you like to dissect people's decisions, or just because they're chaos and it makes you feel better?
Oh, it's just chaos. I'm like, how, what, why, when? Like, it's just everything. Like the girls and their outfits, and it's so interesting watching it because it's just like humans. Like it's just like, wow, yeah, we are like that. It's really interesting. I really like it, and especially like 3 episodes in when it starts getting like really juicy and they swap partners, and I love it. They always cast the people in Love Island really well. And
what an interesting job that must be, casting, because you must go, like, say you or I went, we probably wouldn't get it because, well, ego, probably wouldn't get it because they're like, oh, they're a bit self-aware, or, you know, or whatever it is. They want people who are like, I'm great, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, you want like the villain, and you want like the sweet one, and you want the really hot guy. Like, I mean, they're all really good looking. But that would be a really fun job casting for people, and they always do such a great job. It's an easy show to watch. It would be like you've had a really long day in the office, get home, have dinner, and like chuck on Love Island. It's just like zone out.
Perfect.
And it can make you feel better about yourself because you're like, wow, I'm not that crazy.
Well, at least I'm not sleeping with 3 guys and lying about and doing this.
Your parents are watching this?
I think because they film them so much, I'm only assuming that at some point the cameras become just a piece of the phone. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, you just get so used to it because they're just there 24/7 in your face. So you're just like, yeah.
So I have 5 fan questions from people. What is the flavor you get the most requests for Two Islands?
Oh, berry.
Okay. That's like people like, that's what I need.
Yeah, berry.
Okay. Your favorite person to follow on the internet?
Oh, favorite person to follow on the internet? Oh gosh. I don't know. Oh.
I thought you might have said, but it's because she is one of your best friends, like Anna. But I like watching Anna because I now have developed this anxiety because her cat runs away every day.
Oh.
It's almost become like this obsession that I need to make sure her cat has come home.
It's like a daily, like, you're like, oh, tuning in. Where's the cat today? Is the cat
kind of.
Oh.
She has a lot of great content, but yes, I thought that might be, but I know she's one of your friends. You probably get that information firsthand. Would she be one of your recommendations? Or?
Yeah, I actually do. I like watching Anna's stories. I've actually, her twins had a sleepover with me last night. They're actually down in the bedroom down the hall. I was like, I'm just going to record something. You know when daddy records things and you've got to be quiet? I was like, just so they've got their eyes.
That's perfect. What is a fashion faux pas that people are doing, like whether it's wearing Crocs or whatever, that you're like, let's not do that?
Oh, I saw a guy wearing Birkenstocks with socks, like big woolly socks yesterday.
Great. Oh, what was this one? Oh, your impulse buy. What? Yeah. Oh, are you? Sorry, someone said, are you an impulse buyer or a thought out process person?
Impulse buyer. Terrible.
Great. And the best thing about being pregnant?
Oh, not having to go to anything. Saying no because you're pregnant.
Great.
Excuse to get out of anything.
That's perfect. Well, we're at the end of our show, which is so sad. That happened so quickly. If anyone would like a month of neon on us, all they have to do is hashtag neon, please, in the comments. At the end of the show, Julia, what we like to do with your Earl Grey and my chamomile tea is you get to do a cheers to someone. And we, the collective, you and I, but everyone watching, will cheers to that person too. So it can be someone you know, it can be someone we all know, whatever.
Cheers to New Zealand for staying home.
I love that.
It's really great job.
Cheers. Good one. Good job, New Zealand. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, the amazing Julia Matthews, for joining us. Make sure you guys look out during the week for our next week's guest, so you guys can send in your 5 fan favorite questions as well. Julia, thank you so much. It's a real joy. I know that we went to the school together, kind of, but apart, and so it's really cool seeing your journey. And I mean, man, I've been taking some American college and powder, but when I get back to New Zealand, I do promise that I will do Two Islands. I feel like it seems to be the go-to thing at the moment. So I'm really excited to try your stuff. You are a boss babe and a true inspiration. And yeah, thank you for also helping me out, giving me some anxiety tips and demystifying freezing my eggs. That makes it feel not so scary. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, see ya. Bye, love.